Seems like a nice day to take a stroll out. But there's people in my house. What's going on? Why are people in my house? Who are these people? What? Let's go and see. What? What did uh where there's so many people. They're NPCs? What is this? Of course, it's none other than Citizens plugin. We finally have it back. It was a little bit glitchy with 1.8, but I got it to work, and I finally understood some of the commands that I didn't before. So this is what it consists of. Basically, you can make your NPC do things from just filling up an empty spot. For example, what I did here, I just put a bunch of NPCs walking. You can make them fight. You can set up an adventure map. You can do a whole bunch of things with citizens. So let's check it out. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to the place where you want to create your NPC. Of course, you can always make an NPC and go to a certain location by just putting an X, Y, and Z coordinate, but it doesn't really matter. You could do it either or. It's just a little bit easier if you create your NPC at the place where you want it to be. A little bit of background info on citizens. It basically, like I said, allows you to create NPCs. So you can create NPCs ranging from hostile mobs to just regular sheep, pig, cow, whatever, to players. And then you can make these mobs do a number of things. So the first thing you want to do is type in NPC create and then the name of your mob. So for example, I'm just going to do a player. So I'm going to do, let's do Donnie986. And there you go. I've created my NPC. I can rename my player if I want to by doing NPC rename and then the player name. Just to know, if you're making an NPC, it has to be the correct name of a player, or you could just do like player or something and then put a skin on, and by just doing NPC skin, you can change the skin right away. Alright, so the next thing is to equip your NPC with whatever you want, really. It can be armor or it can be a sword or whatever you want. However, even if you put armor on an NPC, it doesn't matter as long as the strength for the NPC is set to higher. The armor is just there for decoration, really. So you type in NPC equip. Oops. And then you just right click on the NPC. Okay, there it goes. And now my NPC has a world edit wand, or just a wooden axe. A really cool thing about NPCs is that you can also make them look at you. So to make it look at you, you just do NPC look close. And now it's looking at me, very creepily, but it's looking at me. And the final thing I want to show for just a basic outline and understanding of NPCs is setting a path range. So NPC path range, or actually it's just path. Right, to exit out of something you have to redo the command. So now I'm doing the path. So what I want to do is left click where I want my path. It could be any point. But for now I just did it just a solid square. So that's my first point, my second point, third point, fourth point, and I'm just finishing off at the start. And so Donnie's gonna go from each point back and forth. So this is really cool if you want to do like an adventure map maybe, or like in my little shop I just did players walking around. So it's pretty cool, pretty neat, especially if you want to put up a sentry. So now we're going to look at sentries. So you know kind of how to protect your land, especially if you have a faction and it's PvP. So there's two ways to create a sentry. So if you don't know what a sentry is, it's basically a combat NPC. This is perfect for factions, for making or creating a bodyguard for yourself and your land, security, whatever you want. So the first thing you want to do is, if you haven't created your NPC, go ahead and do that. Second thing is that if you haven't created your NPC, it's a good thing, but you can still do it. You could still make a sentry. The first thing though, really confusing. If you already have your NPC, you just do /trait, and then there's a bunch of different types of traits that your NPC can have. But for now, we're just going to put Sentry. And so now Donnie has Sentry. So this NPC's aim is to guard me right now. Another way that you could add an NPC with, or create an NPC with Sentry is just NPC create, and the name of your NPC, and then you do / or -- sorry, trait, and then Sentry. But I already made one, so I don't have to do that. Alright, so the main thing with Sentry is that you want to add a target. So the target allows the Sentry to know what it can attack, what it can't attack. So what you want to do is do Sentry Target, and then you're going to add, and there's a variety of things that you can do. It can target things like players, it can target monsters, it can target the owner, which would be me. It can be other NPCs, it can be any type of mob, really anything. So the main thing I would probably say would be entity and then monster. So now my NPC is going to target monsters. So let's see if I do... Let me add this slime. Yep, there it goes. Now she's going to target that slime. And she's doing a good job, Donnie. Doing a good job. Can I spawn a witch? There she goes. Now she's going to start attacking this witch, I think. Yep. Nope. She's not done. She's really confused. Poor Donnie. Oh. Bitch. Oh my god, she killed her! Alright, well that brings us to our next thing. Respawning and a bunch of other things. So let's get to it. Okay, so one thing that is really interesting about Sentry is that you can add a warning range, a range, what it's going to guard, what it's going to look out for, all these sort of things. So the first thing that you want to do is type in Sentry Range, and this range allows for the Sentry to go into a radius of whatever you're picking, and then it's going to protect whatever's in that radius. So my range for my Sentry is going to be 10. So anything within 10 blocks, 10 by 10 by 10 I guess, will be protected. I don't know where she went. I think she died. Okay then. Well then. So you can add something like a greeting. So you can do Sentry Greeting, which for me would be like welcome or whatever, and then a warning, which would be like stay away or I don't know, whatever. Now for the NPC's really basic outline of it. So you're going to want to do Sentry Health, and this sets the Sentry's health. So if you just hit enter, it's going to tell you information about it. So typically a player has 20 health. I'm just going to give this Sentry like 40 health. I don't really think it's going to do much, but whatever. And then armor, like I said, this command, if you have Sentry, if you don't have Sentry, then you can't really do it. But Sentry Armor is what's basically going to protect this NPC. Putting on diamond armor is not going to do anything. So I'm going to set the armor to, I don't know, the limit's like 0 to like 2 million or something. I'm just going to do 30. And then strength, I'm going to do a 10. Why not? And then let's see. speed, I'll do 3. So here, there's creepers coming. Oh, nice one. Heal rate, there's speed, there's heal rate, attack rate. Let's do heal rate. We'll do like 20. Why not? Night vision is really important. Night vision is, it allows your NPC to see at night. So any mobs within that area or whatnot, it can see. So if you set it to 0, it can't see any immediate mobs in the area. But if you set it to 16, it sees everything. And so the main one also is respawn. So if you do sentry respawn, and if you set it to, I believe it's 0, it prevents normal respawn, which I think it respawns differently, I'm not sure. And the negative one, you set it to -1, it doesn't come back. So this one, I'm just going to do like a 5-second respawn, I guess. And then the last command is follow. So it's going to follow behind me like 10 blocks. Additional commands can also vary from drops, kill drops, invincible, if it retaliates, criticals, mounts, mount, and targetable. And for the main thing, you can equip your NPC with really anything. So, like I said though, this armor is not going to mean anything really. So, you can either do it 2 ways. You can do NPC equip, or Sentry equipped and then type it in manually. So I can do diamond helmet, and now she has a diamond helmet, and so on. So basically giving her whatever. So I'll just give her a diamond sword. I don't think it's going to do much. The thing that does do the damage is the amount of strength I gave her. So anything like that armor combat wise, it's not going to do anything. It's what you give that NPC the strength to do and the commands to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for checking this video out and learning a little bit more about Citizens plugin. If you want to learn a little bit more about the plugin, just check out the supplementary links down below. There's a lot of things that I haven't gone over because it's just way too much for a short video. But check those out, and if you want to check out Citizens plugin, come on over to play.creepercraftmc.net, and we have them for everybody. So thank you. Peace. NPC target. Right, isn't it NPC retaliate? Let's see. What? Okay. Let's try this puppy out. Where'd she go? Oh. Okay. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god, she's so fast! I got killed by myself.